Okay, welcome back to the channel. Let's answer some of the YouTube comments. First up, we have one from, it's going to take a moment to load on my slow computer, Drew Dolce. This person says, MVI9936 is my next tattoo. Yes, well that's when I titled one of the daily update videos because I was in such a hurry and pressed for time that I uploaded the video without even changing the title. So the title has now been changed to day 31 or day 32, whatever it was. But thank you very much for that comment. You also say, very good video. It sucks you're sick. Not sure what I could say that could physically or financially help your situation. Can only say I'm realistically hoping things work out for you in the best way possible way. And you have a roof over your head, access to a toilet and water. Love, heart. I hope you have those things someday. Well, thank you very much for this comment. And yes, I'm doing okay. I have a roof over my head. I haven't always had a roof over my head. And you don't need to do anything other than comment. That is very helpful. You also say, it's kind of ironic. I am unhoused, hoping you get those things when I haven't got them anymore. Haha, but it is what it is. Sorry for all the comments. Well, Drew Dolce, please do not say sorry for all the comments. I love reading your comments. It's great having you as a regular on the channel, and anything you write and say is a big help. So I hope your situation improves, just as we can hope that my situation improves, and we can all hope the best for everyone. Yes, I hope the best for you. You hope the best for me. I hope the best for everyone, and we can all make this better. So thank you very much for your comments. Next up, we have another one from Drew Dolce, who says, not making assumptions, but you use the word clear a lot. Are you a Scientologist? Not judging. Well, first of all, no, I am not a Scientologist. My actual religion is a neo-sannyasin, who is a modern version of the Osho follower. So my name, Dosta, is actually a sannyasin name, neo-sannyasin name. So it was given to me when I was living at Osho's International Meditation Resort. Now, that means that I create my own religion. That means that it's up to me what I believe, yes? Osho's religion, neo-sannyasinism, is very different to traditional religion in that it is not a system of beliefs or customs or things that you follow. It is the empowerment of your own freedom, your own meditation, and your own awareness. It is up to you to find what you want to take on and what you want to live, to create your own life. Now, it also means that I can include all religions. So I include all religions in my religion. I include Islam, Buddhism, Christianity, Judaism, Confucianism, as well as the Eastern ones of Bodhidharmism and Lao Tzu and Trantazu and Kabir and Krishna, and all these sorts of Hinduism is sort of Krishna as well. But I am very much sympathetic to comparative religion, to understanding the truth that every single religion has. Now, of course, there's a lot of fallacies in religions, and the reason we do comparative religion is to see the differences and to compare and to look at things from a multi-perspectival position, which is very much different to putting things into a belief structure. Now, belief structures are still there, just like rationality is still there. And if you're familiar with spiral dynamics, which you should be, you understand the difference between stage blue and stage yellow religion. And we also have stage orange, which is the rationality, stage green, which is the pluralistic, which is not the same as the pluralistic of yellow. And yet we make these comparisons, we make these ins and outs. Now, in the case of Scientology, I am sympathetic to the general idea of Scientology, which we discussed in a previous video, which is that you take something that is an external measurement of your physical body and you combine it with your subjective experiencing and reporting, which is then mitigated through a facilitator. So you can sit down with the facilitator and the facilitator will ask you questions and your body will respond, right? Sort of like a heart rate monitor or a breathing monitor, or you can do an EEG machine, sort of like a lie detector. But then, there's all different ways in which you can model or check the physical changes in your body. And you put it on a computer and it's like there, right? the facilitator asks you certain questions, and when you get activated, you go into different areas of your life, right? So you're going into things that activate you, and you're just using the computer as an external feedback mechanism of data, of information, of validating or contributing with your subjective experience. Now, along with your subjective experiencing, you use descriptive words. You say, I am feeling this. You might be poetic about it. You might say, I'm feeling like a flower. I'm feeling like a dog feels when they see their long-lost owner on a sad day, on a happy day, when they're reunited, yeah? So there might be love, there might be darkness, there might be tragedy, and there's this sort of subjective thing, yeah? The subjective thing is sort of that more poetic, descriptive language, and the facilitator can combine that with the hard data, the scientific data of the alpha, beta, gamma rays of the EEG machine, or the increased heart rate of the lie detector or the heart rate monitor, and so on and so forth, right? So this idea is not a special idea to Scientology. It's something that is used in many different ways. Now, the problem with Scientology is that the facilitators then took this method, which was actually intended as a mode of therapy and personal transformation and healing, and they turned it into blackmail, right? People were spilling their secrets and they would record it and they'd use it as blackmail, and then all of a sudden there's money involved and there's hierarchy involved, and it's become very pathological and it's closed. And then there's also the mythological side with the stories of L. Ron Hubbard and what he was talking about with his novels and the aliens and the spaceships. And mythology is another component of religion that we can talk about. So no, I'm not a Scientologist, in short. But I'm sympathetic to the idea of personal transformation with multi-point references. Now, you also say, I use the word clear a lot. Now, the word clear or clarity is just the generic descriptive word for subjective experience, yeah? We just use that word, whatever. And maybe I do use it too much. Maybe I need to find a better word of describing how things are when you're thinking straight, when your thinking is picturesque, when your thinking is logical, ordered, harmonic, and it's got a kind of symphony to it, and it's kind of a flowing, organic movement, yes? Really, all of that just means you're thinking clear, or you're being with clarity. Now, that's very different to being confused, unable to describe what you're feeling, unsure about yourself, or even downright neurotic and having crazy thoughts or tangles of the mind or conflicts of mind or afflictions of the mind. Yeah, that's very different to clarity. So when we talk about light and dark or clear and unclear, it's really just a matter of words and descriptions. So clarity or being clear is not a monopoly of the Scientologists. You'll see it in self-help and New Age circles around a lot, all over the place. So I hope that answers your question, but it's a very good question. Very good question about Scientology. Next up, we have one from cynicsrage.swag commented, I wonder if the feeling of living within Paradox is simply just the digestion and comprehension of the difference in parallel. That is a perfectly worded statement. This is exactly what I'm talking about with clarity and unclarity, or tangles of the mind, or peace of the mind. Peace of mind, tangles of the mind, light and dark. We were talking about paradox and what it means to have extreme feelings that are very different, and also being able to recognize that, I have had both of these experiences. I've had both of these feelings, and right now I'm having something else, even though I can very clearly see and identify these feelings. So cynicsrage.swag saying, I wonder if the feeling of living within Paradox is simply just the digestion and comprehension of the difference in parallel. That is exactly right, and that's a beautiful way to put it. Yes, you're exactly right. Now, that's your way of describing it. That's your way of coming up with the words of what you have expressed and what you have felt. Now, one thing that comes in quickly is we don't want to get into a tiff between us about what words are right and what is correct, right? That's not what's important. What you've described is correct for you, and what I've described is correct for me, and this is a healthy postmodern pluralistic way of communicating. So we don't need to say anything about what is true and what is not. We can just say that that is a great way for you to say it. And I would actually use that, right? Digestion and comprehension of the difference in parallel. That is just a great way to put it. So thank you so much for your comment. Now, we have more comments. I'm just going to add it into the next video. So if you want to hear more answers, which I'm going to keep doing now, just sort of click on the next video.